What if your biggest competition became the only person who ever truly understood you? What happens when winning starts feeling less important than seeing one person smile? Could you keep a secret for years if losing it meant losing everything? And if your greatest rival looked at you like you were home, would you still call it rivalry? Today, we're talking about hidden feelings, stolen moments, impossible timing, and one of the most addictive sports romances I've seen in a while. Hey babes, Systems Live feed is open. Welcome back. For those of you who have not seen, this is my new character. She is the alter ego to my original character. So you guys will be seeing her about half the time and my other character about half the time. So please look forward to that. They will be alternating from here and there. I also got my hand tracking working, so we will be on occasion throwing this in there every now and again. Not all the time, but you know, I'm a hand talker, so sometimes it's useful. Today, we're going to be talking about Heated Rivalry. Heated Rivalry follows Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov, two elite hockey players playing for rival teams who unexpectedly develop a secret relationship that stretches across years of competition and secrecy. One thing I will note before I fully get into it, this one kind of takes place like past years. It's not like set in recent times. It's set in like early 2000s, like early to mid 2000s. So like I'd say probably like 2010. I don't know exactly. I don't remember exactly when it started, but like it goes up to like 2017 if it was the last year I remember. So yeah, not super recent. So just a heads up. So let's get into our characters. We have Shane Hollander, the golden boy of hockey. Shane is talented, disciplined, media trained, and appears to have everything under control. On the surface, he's calm, composed, and the definition of professional. But underneath, all of that is someone who feels deeply and quietly. Shane spends so much of his life being what everyone expects that he rarely asks himself what he actually wants. His relationship becomes the first place where he doesn't have to perform. Next up, Ilya Rozanov, the star everyone thinks they understand. Confident, sarcastic, intense, and constantly performing confidence even when he's struggling internally. Ilya uses humor and arrogance like armor. He acts like nothing matters, but underneath all of it is someone deeply lonely. His biggest strength and biggest weakness is that he loves completely even when he thinks he doesn't deserve to. Next up, Scott Hunter. He is one half of the second couple. Scott comes across more grounded and emotionally mature. He's observant and practical, but underneath that steadiness is someone carrying his own expectations and fears. Scott brings a calmer, emotional energy compared to Shane and Ilya's intensity. And last but not least, Christopher Kip Grady, the other half of our second couple, who warm, open, and emotionally expressive. Kip feels like the opposite side of Scott. More instinctive, more willing to say what he feels. Their relationship offers a softer contrast to the secrecy and pressure of the main couple. To be fair, both couples have their secrecy. It's just this couple feels more lighthearted, whereas the main couple is, I guess, not intense, but like that's the best way to describe it. Theirs is like way more intense. Like theirs is a lot more intense and like, you know, like emotionally charged. So there's a lot more that you can see they struggle with in the first relationship than they do in this one. Also, The only difference with this one is okay. This one will feel like I'm leaving out a lot of people. The only reason I'm doing this is because the show was so short. I think it only had like 6 episodes. So I genuinely am really gonna only talk about the main couples. The other side characters, obviously I'll show you guys a picture of them, but I'm not really gonna talk about them that much. They don't super impact the story like a crazy amount. The only ones that do are like his parents and the girl that kind of is his beard for a little while, Shane's beard for a little while. So like those people will be spoken about for the most part, but all the other characters are kind of like, you know, they're kind of there. So, but let's get into it. We open to a character outside smoking. A man approaches him and introduces himself as Shane Hollander. The one smoking, Ilya Rosanov. Our 2 main leads. They shake hands, exchange a few words, and the show begins. We see a hockey match between the 2 teams that ends with a defeat for Shane. We quickly move to the major league drafts for hockey, and neither of them look all that happy. We move to see them exercising next to each other, and let me say this, for some reason, there was a lot of noise going on, and all that noise, bit much. It didn't need to be all that. You know, I know it's a show, but it ain't need all that. That was it was just a lot of sounds, okay? And like nothing even happened. So that we could have relaxed a little bit with that. That was like weird. Once they're finished, they sit and have a chat. It's obvious something is there, but seems like they're slow playing it kind of. We fast forward 6 months to the International Prospect Cup, and we see Ilya is being harassed by his family. Because apparently they lost the most recent game to Shane's team. We move 6 more months back in Toronto. Pictures are being taken. We finally get to see kind of a lighter side to our main leads. We move to see Shane being grilled by his mom about his representation for the younger audience, and it's obvious both parties are dealing with people who want them to be responsible for everything but their own lives and happiness. We move to a shower scene, and no, relax, it's not that kind of shower scene. Nothing happens yet, but they definitely want something to happen. Once they're out of the shower, they talk and basically set up a dick appointment. And I love forward people, so I'm very much here for Ilya, babes. Like, that's the kind of forwardness, that's the kind of straightforwardness I need. I don't like games, I don't like beating around the bush. I'm not that kind of person. I don't want my people to be those kind of people. As Shane is waiting around, he seems to get pretty antsy for what we know is going to happen. However, once Ilya gets there, it honestly doesn't matter what's going on in Shane's head because Ilya takes the lead. They get into it, and y'all know exactly what I mean. I'm not going to go into detail about what they got into exactly, but the one thing I will say is that that's kind of what I enjoy about American shows. They get right into it and tend not to leave much to the imagination. And sometimes I want to know what we're doing. Don't get me wrong, I love the slow burn of my foreign BLs. I do occasionally like how American shows just get into the nitty-gritty. Well, after that exchange, skip 3 months later, and they have a face-off that it seems Shane won. Once again, both are dealing with family expectations. However, Ilya, it seems, may be the sole breadwinner for his entire family, and they seem to be relying on him pretty heavily. 4 months later, and we meet again, this time at the All-Star game. They have a press conference and the questions are coming fast. However, they manage together pretty well. However, they seem to be constantly up against each other, but pretty good sports about it. And some flirting along the way as we get another invite to Ilya's room this time. And once again, we're back at it, and they very much get into things this time. No hesitation, nothing. However, this time we moved into back Dorothy territory, and you can tell there's some hesitation on Shane's side. However, they do decide to save that for the next time. And I'm gonna be honest, I was ever so slightly disappointed for a sec, just because I was hoping we would get a little bit of like talking through, encouragement, but my dumbass forgot this is an American show and this nigga's Russian, so I shouldn't be expecting soft playfulness. That's my B babes, won't happen again. 2 weeks fly by, however, Ilya gets stuck at the airport, so the dick appointment gets delayed, and Ilya gets a surprise dick appointment with someone named Svetlana instead. So I guess for him it's all good, and poor little baby Shane is having dinner with a friend and his wife, which I can already tell the shit's gonna go left, but I'm here for all the messiness and drama. 4 months later, Shane is winning the Rookie of the Year award. Shane steps away from the festivities to get some air and runs into Ilya, who it seems is not having an easy time. However, when Shane tries to leave, Ilya stops him and starts making out with him, which kind of pissed him off considering they are sort of in public, though they are pretty secluded. So, but you know, during, I don't know what years exactly it was, but like I don't think it was as widely accepted. And boom, that's that. Shane walks off, and I guess that's that till next season. Now, before we continue, I must say, the bouncing all over the place, like there's a lot. It's a lot of bouncing around. I will say this. It time jumps like very often. So I'm not super familiar with the storyline, but I'm not sure if like the jumping around is like what happened in the actual story, but they're jumping around like OD, so you're gonna have to just bear with that. Anyway, next season starts, and they aren't really talking to each other much, but over text they have a whole little thing going. It's really cute. Until shit gets real and Ilya decides to send a dick pic, which, Lord, I ain't know they was about to show that in full 4D the way they did. That shit threw me all the way off. Had me cackling how quick the phone got yeeted. Child. Anyway, the texts continue, and it's painfully obvious the sexual tension between these two is electric, and it's only going to keep building from there. The sexting before their game, and after the game, they finally decide to meet up again. And their chemistry, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. These niggas, they came to play, and they bounce off each other's energy so well. The actors, they knew what they was doing. They knew what they was doing. This time, they actually fuck. And oh, girl, good for HBO. They never disappoint when it comes to showing you the emotion and love behind a couple. And they did not disappoint here, and neither did the actors. Child, stop it. Anyway, they finish the D, and Ilya heads home, not without stopping to give a very soft and attentive kiss to Shane on the way out. So cute. Time moves, and we jump to the Olympics, and we see Ilya loses a home game, and it seems he's MIA at the moment after the loss. Meanwhile, Shane meets up with a couple of friends, and one of them kind of pisses me the fuck off because he says some stupid shit that's slightly homophobic, and it's basically about, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's basically about one of Shane's friends who's a figure skater who's there for the Olympics, being brave for being gay and coming to Russia. Like, bitch, that's an inside thought. Keep it to your fucking self. You don't need to say that to people. Keep it to yourself. Hollander spots Ilya alone and decides to check on him. However, Ilya's being kind of an ass to him, which I'm gonna chalk up to the fact that he just lost a pretty big game. But I'm gonna say this now more as just a point to be made for real life. Don't do this, people. Don't do this. It fucking sucks. And especially if someone is just trying to help you out. Y'all don't be douchebags. Don't be douchebags. If you want to be alone, fucking say the words. Don't lash out at people just because you're upset. You know, that's not fair to the people in your lives. Like, more often than not, the person checking on you isn't the one that caused the problem, right? Lashing out at them is not gonna make it better. So please take that to heart and remember it maybe later in life when you get upset with someone, you know, take a beat, think it through. The person who's coming to you is probably coming to you because they want to help. Don't take it out on them. Take a beat, okay? Back to the show, Ilya meets with his father, and we can see where some of that family pressure is coming from. However, if I'm not mistaken, this is usually like how Russian families are. However, I don't know for sure. I'm not gonna say that's like a thing. I don't know for sure. I'm just like going based off of some information I know. I don't know. I don't have personal experience, so I couldn't say for sure. Even if that's the case though, I am still sorry for him that he has to deal with all his family kind of coming at him from all sides. The woman that I mentioned before, Svetlana, shows up and tries to cheer Ilya up. Someone named Sasha joins them, and when Svetlana leaves, Sasha starts to make his move on Ilya. However, Ilya is far from amused and does that pretty quickly. Time moves forward, and back in Montreal, Shane is meeting with some of his teammates. They're watching Ilya's game, and he had a great comeback. Their team won the MLH Cup. It's pretty clear that while watching Ilya's game, Shane kind of had the realization that I can only assume he really does have pretty strong feelings for Ilya. We move to the MLH Awards, and it seems our boys are presenting an award together. However, after a very cringe, and I mean, y'all, and it's always weird to see like actors do acting in a show, like they're playing in a show where they have to act like they're you know what I mean? Um, so they had to like basically do that, and they had to like do a little bit. Oh my god, it was good for they're very good actors, I do have to say, but that little bit that they had to do for that little part for that award, oh my, it was bad. It was so, oh my god, it was so cringy. It was very cringy. Anyway, after a very cringe bit between them, Shane exits pretty upset as Ilya follows. And of course, they get into the nitty-gritty again, because Ilya, no matter if he wants to ignore it, knows he has feelings for Shane. And I'm pretty sure Shane has already come to terms with the fact that he has feelings for Ilya. However, they don't really get into anything like too serious until later. And Ilya, having won the MVP award, decided to take the lead tonight, and he's dictating what they're doing for the evening. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but this is giving very Dom sub vibes. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, it's fine. You don't look it up. Be innocent, be babies. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. One of my favorite categories is Dom sub to watch almost as much as switch couples. I may seem innocent, y'all, but I know a lot. This mind is, there's a very dirty mind here. I'm very sorry, but don't mistake me for innocent, because I'm not. I know a lot of stuff that would probably surprise a good amount of people. After the deed, Ilya sure does know how to make a girl feel like shit, and basically tells Hollander to leave, which is like, ugh, cause bitch, aftercare, excuse me. But once he leaves, you can tell Shane is confused on what to do next. We get a bit of a surprise, and it looks like we're getting a focus shift on a different character for one episode, apparently. So Mr. Scott Hunter, please step up to the plate. We get a second couple, and this one surprised me because I was not aware that this show had a second couple. I don't know if anyone ever mentioned it, because I didn't really watch anything surrounding the show because I knew I was going to watch it at some point, so I tried not to get too many spoilers. But I feel like no one mentioned the second couple, so seeing a second couple kind of threw me off a bit, but I was here for it. Scott and Kip is I guess short for Christopher. We get a cute, slow build relationship between the two. They're the complete opposite of Ilya and Shane. Vulnerable, actually talk to each other outside of work since they don't work together. I kind of like them. It's actually pretty sweet watching a cute, lovely couple, and at the very least, it was just a cute, loving couple. But they did have their struggles, don't get me wrong. This couple struggled with being trapped in the closet. Since Shane is a pretty well-known hockey player, he has reservations about coming out and claiming Kip openly. However, Kip is feeling hurt, being left in the dark by the man he loves, and this inevitably causes a rift in the couple before they fully have a chance to bloom. And they only get the one episode, so they come back a little bit later, but they do only have like one episode to kind of explore that couple. All right, back to our main couple. We see life is a bit all over the place for both of them. However, their lifestyles are very different. Shane is a bookworm who seems to like chill days in and jogs with friends. He's attentive about his work and other engagement and is all around probably more of an extroverted introvert. Meanwhile, Ilya likes to party with friends, drink, and work out. Definitely two very opposite people. However, throughout, they manage to squeeze in boom boom time, and it's amazing the work-life balance they can achieve. I can barely manage to wash dishes in the same week as laundry and work, so good for them. As they move through their lives, we see that Ilya starts to take less interest in others and more interest in his time with Shane. And his friends are starting to notice the shift in him that he has yet to fully realize himself. However, it seems Ilya may be slowly trying to test the waters and see how he's really feeling about Shane, because their most recent meetup leads to Ilya to request that Shane stays the night, which in all the years they've been together on and off, this has never happened. It's actually kind of nice. They got to wake up together. They get to actually talk like a normal couple, but I feel like it's going to be short-lived, you know? And I'm sure something will scare Ilya and he'll feel like he needs to like pull back. But let me not jump the gun and give him the benefit of the doubt. They get to spend some quality time together, and after a quick jerk sesh, surprisingly enough, Shane is the one who panics and ends up leaving a bit early from Ilya's place. He meets with his parents, and it's obvious Shane is not in a great mood after what happened. Even more surprising, Shane actually goes out with friends and even drinks a couple of beers. While out, he runs into an actress that he's a fan of, and they get to talking. And the next thing you know, rumors of a romance between the two start. And of course, Ilya is seeing this, and he's definitely not happy about that. They finally have a game against each other, and it's clear they both were off their game, having the other person so close to them. And of course, like I said would happen, drama ensues, and they end up at the same club having to watch the other with someone else. We wake up the next day, Shane next to the actress he's seeing after a boom boom night. However, it sounds like less boom boom and more just boom after he had saw Ilya. Sounds like they had a little bit of struggle. And it seems that there is something changing up this season, in their hockey season. There seems to be potential for Ilya and Shane to be playing together on the same team. And I'm here for it. If that's the case, I'm here for that. Scott Hunter is still part of the story, however, just sort of a background character for now. Okay, with Shane, we see him out to dinner with the actress, and sorry, I'm blanking on her name, but it seems like she's caught on to the fact that Shane is actually gay and hasn't admitted it to himself yet. And I gotta say, she's actually very understanding about it all. I'm kind of obsessed with her. I love that Shane can have a friend who actually knows and can sympathize with his feelings, and love that he was able to meet her, because he definitely needed somebody he could confide in, especially with how much of an asshole Ilya can be to him sometimes. So, and no, I still like him and Ilya together. However, we are not going to ignore the fact that he is an asshole just because he's got a hot body and a sexy accent. Okay, if we're all gonna be part of this family, we're about personality over looks in this family. So, if they could be fucking Michael B. Jordan, if the personality is shit, the looks can honestly fuck off. Okay? Now, fast forward to the All-Star game, where our boys will be playing on the same team together, and we see Ilya waiting for someone. Next thing we see is Shane walking in and sitting down next to Ilya. They get to talking, and it's oh so obvious that the spark between them is there, but neither are going to be obvious about it. We jump to the game, and it seems they play well together. We get to see a cute moment they had poolside, and later we see them on the beach chatting. They decide to meet up and surprisingly talk instead of going straight to boom boom. The talk was definitely like a long time coming. It's been pretty obvious that they have something between them, but Ilya, more so than Shane, just wants to pretend it's not as serious as it is. And thanks to this talk, plenty of things come to light, and it's very much needed. It's obvious Ilya especially needed to get some things out in the open. After the talk, they seem to be a bit more open with each other, and as the saying goes, 1 step forward, 10 steps back. Just as things were seeming lighter, shit hits the fan, and Ilya had to fly home to deal with the tragedy. Poor Ilya cannot catch a break while dealing with this hardship. His brother tries to corner him. However, it definitely helps him realize how much he actually needs Shane. And after a very eye-opening phone call that Shane didn't really get to actually understand because Ilya spoke in Russian the whole time for a good majority of it, it's clear Ilya needs to make a choice about what he wants to do from now on, about not only his feelings for Shane, but also his family and home. We move to a match they have against each other, and of course, like I said, 1 step forward, 10 steps back. During the game, a player basically bum rushes Shane and practically knocks his clock clean. Poor thing's gonna be out for the rest of the playoffs. However, Ilya does go visit him at the hospital, which is kind of cute. The only good thing about all of this is that now our boys seem to be talking regularly and are definitely a lot closer. Since both end up injured, Ilya gets a bit hurt, nothing serious but enough to throw off his games. Scott Hunter comes back into the frame, and his team wins the 2017 Cup. And I have to tell you, big fucking ups to Scott fucking Hunter for officially coming out and standing up for the man he loves and showcasing it to the whole world publicly and openly. He walked so Ilya and Shane could run, right? Now, thanks to Scott, Ilya and Shane take a pretty big step, and Ilya decides to stay with Shane at his cottage for the summer. I'm oh so very proud of them for taking the next step and trying something scary. I'm already very happy how the cottage stay is starting, and I gotta say, it's looking to be a very promising vacation.
Okay. He works for the Treasury Board of Canada.
I have to say, the last episode, you kind of just have to watch. It's a very needed episode. They spent the time together talking, being open, actually enjoying each other's time together, plenty of boom boom, and just so much needed so much needed emotional vulnerability. I think this episode is one of those ones you just have to watch and get it yourself. It's definitely worth the watch. They talk about like everything, like they actually go through everything, and the parents come in at some point, like stuff has to get explained. Shane has to come open about some stuff. Ilya comes open about some stuff, talks about their pet, like, you know, it's all of it. They literally go through. That last episode is just them establishing that after this years long like on and off relationship, that they really do care about each other and they probably should work it out. And thanks to this episode, like, I can say the show ends on a happy note. So, what worked and what didn't? This one, I have to say, considering it being so short, there was not much that I had to complain about. They actually did really great, I have to say. The chemistry between the leads and the second couple was amazing. Like, the couples in here, wow. I didn't even know that there was gonna be a second couple. Loved them the minute I saw them. Loved them. They did a great job. The secret relationship stuff done with emotional depth, it was very well done. You know, I think they had a great balance between the romance and the sports. I don't watch sports, so the fact that I was able to still love them even though all the sports stuff was like in there too, like, that's how you do a show, you know? You get people who don't watch that stuff I don't watch sports. I'm not a hockey person at all. I'm not a sports person. Hockey, least favorite thing to watch. Don't get it. Too rough for me. Not for me. But loved the show. It was amazing. Okay? I also really liked that they touched on some important coming of age themes in here. To be fair, it is set in the past, so the years that this occurs, being gay wasn't as widely celebrated as it is today. However, I did like that they talked about so many different themes that were important during those times, and gave an interesting perspective of those themes with both couples. There were only like 2 things I didn't really like that didn't work great for the show. The second couple, wish they would have gotten more screen time. They gave them the whole episode, to be fair. However, we've seen so many BLs and they just know how to incorporate a second couple so well. It's just so well done. So this one was a bit disappointing to see how the second couple got incorporated so oddly. I think they could have done a better job. I don't know how the book is written, so I can't speak as to like how it was written in the first place, but I think we could have done something to like change it. Kind of tying into the same thing, kind of tying into just like maybe adjusting the show a bit. The time jumps. Too much. The first episode alone had like 7 time jumps. We were jumping around it damn near gave me whiplash. Maybe a little less would have been better, or even just maybe more episodes so that they could have split everything up a bit more, because it was happening too much. It was just too often. It happened too quickly. We were going months. We were 3 months, 6 months, 2 weeks. Towards the end of the thing, it was like 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later. Bitch, if y'all don't just slow it down, like, we could have just gave more episodes if that was the case. I thought the show had at least 8 episodes. When I saw 6, I said, oh, I'm finishing this in a day. Finished it. Then was annoyed because it was so quick. I was like, oh my god, we could have spread that out. Next time we need to spread it out. That's my biggest criticism on it. Spread it out, because we could have had more time for the second couple and more time to just spread the show out in general. This is not a criticism on the book. I have not read the book. I don't know what the story is. This is a criticism on the show itself, and the show as the standalone product it is. It did not need to be time jumps as often as there was, and the second couple should have got more time. Should have got more screen time. But they worked with what they had, and I'm assuming, so for what it is, I think it's really well done, you know? So for me, Heated Rivalry gets a 9 out of 10 daggers. Definitely Blue approved. Very good show. This is one of those romances that sneaks up on you. It's not loud. It's one of those ones that just slowly makes you realize one day you care about these 2 bozos more than your own emotional well-being. So, that being said, who fell first and who fell harder? Would you have kept that secret as long as they did? Because that shit was years in the making. And did Rivalry make their relationship stronger or harder? Let me know what you guys thought, but for now, let's cut the paste because my work here is done. Ooh, perfect.